Hi, this is Elena.
And Michelle.
I'm a 3D artist.
And I'm a 3D sister.
So this one is just a little bit of a palette cleanser from all the 3D. Sometimes I need to just draw swirls, and I decided to do some mixed media by doing markers and then also some pen.
Are those my children's markers?
They are. I'm actually sitting on your bed to film this part.
Oh, I thought that looked like I was like, the stool that you have isn't all white chippies on it.
Yeah, that's your painting / puzzle board.
Yeah.
And uncaptured is Chow Chow trying to get all up in my grill.
She helps.
Yeah, she really is a helpful kitty. But yeah, this one, I did this a while ago. This is when you guys were on your vacation to Glenwood or whatever it was. That was like 2 months ago, I feel like. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Actually, no, yeah, I was trying to figure out what should my secondary color be, because I wanted to do a dual color situation even before the ink goes on. So.
And you gotta make sure they aren't dried out.
That too, yeah. Oh, and I think I did my nails specifically. No, wait, this was the week that I went and I got nail polish.
Oh, yes.
This nail polish looks pretty dark on screen. It is not black, though. It's just a very dark green. And I've been wanting to get this shade of a green of nail polish for years, I think. And I finally found a really good one. So it was my special day.
Aww.
There's Joe! My special day of getting nail polish. Oh, and I found this really cool, like, super thin pen. I think it's like a felt tip, but it was like the tiniest. It's just like so thin. But I feel like it doesn't work that well because it didn't work in my benefit because it's so thin. It's hard to see in the final look of it. But you guys know. You guys are watching this video and you can see. And I think in my previous swirl drawing video, I had said I was planning to do something with like silver pen, and I tried to do that on this day that I did this one, and it didn't work out because the pen's ink wouldn't dry very quickly, and so I was just smearing it everywhere. So I just went for this one with the marker, and I was happy with that. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about this process, and now we can just talk story.
Okay.
There was this movie you had on earlier this week. It was some sort of bunny movie.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not talking about that movie, really. It's just that there was maybe like a sad sequence where there was a song playing that I think is a famous song, and I have heard references to the song without ever hearing the song itself. It was Every Rose Has Its Thorns. I don't know the melody, even.
Every rose has its thorns, yeah.
Yeah, and when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, stick it. There's the character Poot. He comes into the room at one point, like, he introduces himself by being like, every party needs its pooper, and that's why they call me the party pooper, or needs its poot, something like that. Yeah. And it's like, that was just a random thing for him to say. I watched that in middle school just thinking that was his own thing, but I think he was referencing that song.
Huh.
But then also, I looked it up because I just Googled that phrase because I was like, maybe I'm misunderstanding something. I need to just look at the clip of him busting in singing that. And with those search terms, I found a clip from Father of the Bride. Two characters are talking to Steve Martin's character, saying the same sort of thing that Poot later says in Stick It.
Huh.
So are they referencing the Every Rose Has Its Thorn song? Is Poot referencing them, or is he referencing Every Rose Has Its Thorns?
Ooh.
It's just, I don't know. I went on a search and I learned nothing. If anyone has any thoughts on the matter, please share your wisdom.
That movie that we turned on, I didn't know that it was a mesh of cartoon and people. So I was a little bit surprised, and I feel like it wasn't as cutesy and appropriate as I wanted.
Aww.
It wasn't like super inappropriate, but there was just, I don't remember what irked me, but something irked me.
The fella who's in it, he's Cyclops from X-Men, right?
No, that's James. Maybe it's the same guy, James Marsden. I think he was in Hairspray. And also 27 Dresses?
Yes.
Okay.
And Enchanted.
Yes.
It's just like he has to interact with some like animated characters in Enchanted. And then also in this bunny movie. And I believe he's also in Sonic, interacting with an animated Sonic while he himself is human.
He just likes it.
That's his genre. He found his specialty.
Interesting.
I wonder if there are more. I can only see those 3 examples, but there's probably a lot going on. Like, what's his face who played Smeagol? He, like, only does CG roles, it seems like.
Oh.
Well, that's the only things I hear about him being in.
Mm-hmm.
He just found his niche. I heard someone say niche.
Oh, no.
Is it right?
No. I think it's niche.
Okay, let's see. I wrote for a little voiceover topics, let's talk about spiders. And because Mom got a big spider for us. Shell and Avery were hanging out in the downstairs area where Mom is, but she wasn't out there with them actively. She was just, I think, in her room. And then I was just passing through, but I hung out with Shell and Avery for a hot second just because I saw them, and even though I'd just seen them like 20 minutes before, it was still a nice thing to see them. But then I was with Avery petting the dog, and I glanced over, and there's this big, huge spider, like just 3 feet away from us, and it was just like, it looked like a joke. It was just waiting there, waiting to be like, ha, gotcha. I don't know.
Thought it was hanging out with us.
Probably. Yeah. Anyway, I saw it. I ushered Avery away from it, and Michelle was just like, get it. And it's like, I don't think I need an adult. I need an adult. Shell, can you look at this one? She came over. She was all gung-ho about it. She was like, nope.
Yeah,
No, I need an adult.
I grabbed the tissue. I'm like, I can handle it. Like, I'm a mom. I have to handle things without any feeling normally, but that one was massive.
It was so big.
I couldn't.
I feel like the body itself was maybe like the size of a dime, but then the legs extended out to like the size of a quarter. It was a little too much, and close up we couldn't do it. So we were just like calling for our mom, who was in a separate room, like, we need it. It's too big for us. We can't do it. So she got it. She has experience. She's been a mother longer than we've been alive.
She couldn't call on anyone else.
Yeah. But it's that thing we've talked about where it's like, if I had been down there alone with Avery, I would have just muscled up and done it. Like, if you had been alone with Avery and you knew there was no one else to call, you would have just done it.
Exactly.
Like, we can do it. It's just because we had another option. And Mom was so brave. She just did it. You handed her the tissue, and she's like, this is not going to be big enough. She took matters into her own hands.
Yes.
Anyway, I was trying to remember if there were any other fun spider stories. I can't really think of any.
No. Avery did wake up with a large bump on his back, like right in the middle of his spine. So I was going to go on a spider hunt in his room.
Gosh.
But I didn't. You never can find it, you know?
Yeah, they're always hiding. This is the thing I've thought about, where it's like, when you're playing Zelda, there's always the music, the spooky music that happens when you get close to a spider. I have thought sometimes that it would be really convenient if we had that in real life. Just, there's a spider close by, we can hear it. But
we'd always hear it.
Exactly, we'd always hear it, and we would just, like, drive ourselves off the deep end because we can never find it.
Yes.
Or it would be, like, so loud and echoing because there are multiple spiders around.
Oh, my gosh.
We just can't see because they're... You know what? Like, if they're minding their own business, though...
And wake you up in the middle of the night.
Oh, my gosh! No! I would just have my white noise machine and just deal with it. But, yeah, it's like... I've never minded daddy long legs. Like, they're chilling. They're up in the corner of my ceiling. Like, I don't care. Live your life. But there are other ones that just seem more malicious, and I can't hack it. And you know, like, if you don't deal with it, then it's going to come back around to somebody else in the house, and you don't need to send that curse on to the rest of the house.
Exactly.
I had this anecdote about... It's not even an anecdote. It's just something I was realizing. Something about elevators. I feel like it took me into my 20s to realize that you need to look at how the light flashes to see if it's going up or down. I feel like the necessity of knowing that never became relevant until my 20s, when I was working at DreamWorks, and there were some floors where the ground level for some access points was like in the middle of the building, and so it kind of would depend, are you going up or going down? But most of the time when you go into a building, the ground level is the ground level for everybody, and so everyone would be going up if they are on the ground level. So it's just something that I never needed to know it, and it was a weird learning curve.
I'm immediately thinking about Spirited Away. Didn't they have to take like different elevators to different floors?
Yes.
It's just like that.
So very much
like some
so.
of those elevators wouldn't be able to go down to the ground floor because they stopped at that level, that you had to go to a different place to go to the different elevator.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
You know, that whole scene was kind of confusing in general for me. I think that probably contributes to why it was confusing. Like, why would you have, like, oh, this is a VIP elevator? I just didn't know.
Probably just the shape of the building.
Yeah.
Different turrets.
It's so interesting.
Because, like, she's trying to sneak around and be covert. So, like, why are they moving to a different elevator? Because they had to. They can't keep going up where they're at.
Yeah. Important to know. Yeah, but I was wondering, with my just blind spot about elevators, do you have any blind spots you can think of that you've had?
I'm just thinking of more of yours. Just you're crossing the street.
We're not gonna do this. It's fine. I never died, and no one ever died with me. What's another one? What's a different one?
Oh my gosh. I can't think of any flaws of mine.
Oh gosh. So today I made ziti, and also a couple days ago I made bread pudding, and those are one of my staple recipes, along with quiche. And so the thing with it is that whenever I made those recipes in our other house, just the previous one, the oven there, whenever you would preheat the oven, it would default to 350 Fahrenheit. But this oven of ours in our current house does not preheat to a certain thing. It doesn't have a default setting. And so it kind of messes me up because I always think of it as like quiche has eggs, so it's a little more complicated. So I know that I need to specify a different temperature than the 350 it lands at. But my ziti and my bread pudding, those are simple recipes, and so they will be what the default temperature is. And so like making these recipes, it's like I had to double check again at this house, and I have to keep double checking again and again because I'm not sure if it is, because I have to plug in 350. It's like, is it even 350 though? Mm-hmm. It just makes my life hard.
I have the same thing when I make my meatloaf. It's been recently that I now know it's 350. Mm-hmm. But that was the only thing I had to look for. I memorized the rest of the ingredients, but I can never remember the temperature. It's a weird one. Mm-hmm. And then when I make shepherd's pie, it's like ziti, where it's like everything's already cooked. Mm. So you're really just throwing it in to get the browning on the top. So the temperature doesn't really matter. But I always had to look up a recipe, like, how do you guys make shepherd's pie? And how should I temperature it to make sure it's good?
Totes. Oh my gosh. It's so weird how few recipes I knew back when Felicity was born. It's like I had to look up a lot of stuff and learn some things. And I remember immediately after graduating from college, I was watching a lot of like Korean recipe videos, but not really learning anything. Mm-hmm. I was just watching them because it was relaxing. But it was like, I got some ideas like, ooh, cabbage. I'm going to make cabbage. But I like mix it together with like refried beans or something. And it's like, I still ate it. It was still food and tasty. But it was just like, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know recipes.
We tried to make a cabbage thing once, and it was so underwhelming and flavorless.
Aw. Ooh, I'm vanishing.
So fun. It kind of makes it look fuzzy, like with texture,
like distorted,
like a caterpillar. Like I want to pet it.
Ooh, fun. Well, that's my swirl. Hope you guys enjoy. There'll be more 3D videos next week.
Thanks for watching. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.
Bum.